Hello and welcome to another video by BuzzPods. Today we shall be unboxing the gorgeous Cubitek Mini Cube, of which the product code is CB-Mini-B004. The chassis, as you will see in a short moment, is a compact 100% aluminium chassis. On the front we have very basic styling, all brown and black ink, no high quality colour printing, however it does the job. Moving to the side of the box we find nothing but a few safety stickers and such, while on the other side we find some specifications in 5 different languages, as you can see on screen at the moment. We will talk about these specifications in a moment. However, if you would like to read them now, you may pause the video and take a look. The specs listed are basic specs surrounding weight, height, dimensions, expandability, and all that sort of good stuff. And we have some more illustrated specs on the back, as well as the code name and all the Cubitek branding on the bottom once again. As we begin to pull the chassis out of the box, we can see that it is packaged extremely well. As we pull away the flaps, you will be able to see this. So we have an accessory box there, which we shall have a look in a minute. But yes, so they have used great use of protective plastic to reduce the risk of scratches to the chassis whilst in transit, as well as the fact that they've used my favourite packaging material, and that is closed cell foam. As you can see how thick and squidgy it is, may being able to mould to any impact that may hit the case around the edges, and we do have a good few inches thick of this stuff. Now that we have the chassis out of the box, we find a little box labelled accessory box, which contains various screws, tools and rubber grommets. As well as, and that's a big thumbs up here for the rubber grommets, as these are excellent for mounting hard drives to reduce vibrations from the hard drive, as well as a comprehensive instruction manual. Whilst it is not in colour, it does do the job just like the box. All the information you need, as well as very clearly labelled tools, screws, thumbnails, etc. Finally, it's time to look at the chassis itself. We will slowly take it out of its packaging. We see once again that fantastic closed cell foam. A lot of companies do not use it because it is a lot more expensive than standard, the hard brittle foam that they usually use, because it's a lot cheaper, but it's definitely worth the money, as you're almost guaranteed to receive your products in one piece. So when we take this product out of its packaging, we're immediately smacked in the face with this gorgeous brushed aluminium construction. It is real aluminium, which really makes this chassis stand out from the crowd due to how much plastic is used in modern chassis these days. At the top we find 2 USB 2 ports, 2 USB 3 ports, as well as headphone and microphone sockets. So all the I/O you'll need here, but I would just like to mention the point again about how beautiful this chassis is. There's almost no plastic used on this. The dimensions of the chassis are 200 by 320 by 300 millimeters, and it weighs around 1.5 to 2 kilograms. At the bottom we find mounting holes for an optional 120 millimeter fan, which would blow air either in or out of the case, although I'd recommend using it as an exhaust, as well as a removable dust filter which can be accessed from the inside, which we will show more in depth in a few moments. At the back we have a cutout for the I/O shield, mounting holes for either an 80 or 90 millimeter fan, which again is optional, as well as 2 expansion bays for graphics cards or anything PCI Express based, as well as a cutout for the power supply. It's pretty standard size. It fits any ATX power supply with a maximum length of 150 millimeters, and that's good since there aren't many ATX power supplies which exceed that anyway. As we unscrew the chassis, I think it's a good time to mention that the black screws easily lose their colour if the wrong screwdriver is used. Therefore, I recommend using the tissue technique, where you wrap the end of the screwdriver in a tissue, which prevents scratches to the screws. Inside the chassis we see that it has been left raw, and by this I mean uncoated in any kind of paint. We find plenty of space for airflow, which is excellent for such a small chassis, as well as plenty of mounting holes for your motherboard and all your hard drives, etc. Along the right hand side we have mounting holes for either three 3.5-inch hard drives or 5 2.5-inch hard drives. And at the bottom here we see the thumb screw, very nice thumb screw, put on nice loosely there, so you can easily take off without use of any tools to remove the dust filter. It simply slides out the back and then can be rinsed through with water or however you wish to clean it, and that's excellent for keeping dust out of your system from entering your components or anything else that you have inside your chassis, as dust can damage them. We have rubber grommets at the bottom to reduce vibration from the power supply, as well as all our input-output connectors for USB 3 and all HD audio and everything else. We have cutouts for cable management, which is absolutely superb for an ITX chassis of this size. Behind the motherboard tray we find at least 1/2 inch of space behind for cable management, which again is superb for a chassis of this size. As you can see, an exact measurement is on screen at the moment, and this is literally unheard of in ITX chassis these days. And you can see it very easily fits a 3.5-inch hard drive there, although the quantities of hard drives that I mentioned before when I said you could have 3.5-inch hard drives or 5 2.5-inch hard drives are subject to you being creative with the space used. Whilst we leave you with some glamour shots of this truly magnificent chassis, please click that subscribe button below, as it really helps us to bring you more content such as this in the future. Also, be sure to visit our corresponding article on our website, www.buzzpods.com, which will also be linked in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye and see you next time.